I've been stating my opinions, but I deliberately put them in a very brash manner. If you want to challenge my ideas, I completely encourage you. I have an opinion, you have an opinion, and between the two, it's probably where the truth is.
I'm a tall, strong, rich, kickboxing fighter. I was everything they embody as their enemy.
If they say in America, well, freedom of speech is protected by the First Amendment, but if I say something they don't like, they're going to delete all my social media profiles, I'll lose my job and I'll lose my bank, what freedom do I have to talk? Excuse me, sir, come with us, we want to talk. And what? No, you're laughing, but this happens. There is no freedom of speech anymore, not even in America. This is my exact point. They put these people in jail for their opinions.
One of my best friends who's on my Instagram, he's literally a street man, that's what he does.
Got to start trying to recruit some girls in this, and I got to start looking cool. Quick plug here, anyone who wants to run a campsite, I am Andrew Tate. Yeah. This is what I think.
Hello, Andrew.
Andrew.
This is Andrew Tate. He's about to turn 3 and is growing up in Goshen, Indiana, where he's being raised by his parents. The woman walking into the picture is Andrew's mother, Eileen. The man in white is Andrew's father, who's holding his newborn brother, Tristan. One thing I've learned from making these deep dive documentaries is that if you really want to understand someone, the best place to start is by asking who were their caregivers and what impact did they have. And if we listen carefully to Andrew himself describing his parents' roles, we quickly understand where the unique story of Andrew begins.
Well, our mother was quite subservient to my father. My father was certainly a disciplinarian. He was certainly the man who's in charge of the house. My mother did her job fantastically. She taught us how to read. She fed us very well. She made sure we ate good. And my dad's basic tenet was, your mother is in charge of keeping you alive, but I'm in charge of teaching you how to be a man and conquer the world. I'm gonna turn up when I turn up. I'm gonna teach you some shit.
There is a saying that goes, a boy's first hero is his dad, which describes Andrew's relationship to his father. But who is this man? And what exactly was it he was gonna teach his son?
My baby boy.
You proud of those boys, aren't you?
Yeah, Andrew. Come here. Look at the camera, boy.
Never was I ever around my father. It was a low energy environment. That's not who he was as an individual. And I remember every single second spent with him.
You ain't never too big for daddy. You come here to daddy, boy. Got nothing but babies.
Andrew's real full name is actually Emery Andrew Tate III, and his father, Emery Andrew Tate Jr., was named after his father, Emery Andrew Tate Sr. Andrew's father served in the United States Air Force as a sergeant, where he excelled as a linguist.
We used to listen to the bugs. If they bugged the room, he'd listen to the bug in Russian and translate it. So he spoke Russian and Spanish and German.
Besides speaking multiple languages, he is also an international chess master, described by other grandmasters as an absolute trailblazer for African American chess. He's won the Indiana State Championship 6 times and been nicknamed extraterrestrial because other players thought his play was out of this world. Taught by his father, Emery Jr. started playing chess when he was only 3 years old, and he wanted Andrew to follow his footsteps. But how come Andrew ended up in the world of kickboxing and social media instead? What caused the deviation from his father's plan?
Andrew. Come here, boy.
At the age of 5, I was Indiana State chess champion, and when I was 8, I was on my way to becoming a FEDE master, so I was one of those child chess geniuses.
There is an article from 1993 that covers Andrew's early chess career. He's only 6 years old at the time, and the title, Chess Family Strives to Keep Pressure of Game in Check, paints a picture of a rather uncompromising childhood. But it then highlights how Andrew's father passionately teaches kids the game of chess and Andrew's early successes. At the time, Emery had just left the military to pursue chess full time, and Andrew tells the reporter every kid wants to be like his dad. But when 6-year-old Andrew loses 3 out of 5 games at the tournament, he tells his father, "Dad, I'm playing bad," and is about to cry. Emery then withdraws him from the tournament to save him the embarrassment of crying in public. In the following years, Andrew's father would spend most of his time pursuing his own chess career, and on some occasions Andrew was invited to come watch his dad play. Emery's lifestyle and deep dedication to chess would come to create a big impact on how Andrew related to his father.
I saw my dad once a month. He was out on the streets. He's pimping, hustling. My father was a chess grandmaster. He's traveling the world playing chess. He had all his girls. He's doing whatever he's doing. When he came home, it was an impactful time. The whole dynamic of the house has changed. Everything shifted. Dad is home. He's been away and now he's home. Whether it's positive or negative, that has an impact on you, has a genuine effect on your psyche.
According to Andrew, his father's absence added a layer of mystery that magnified the hero image he held of his father. But it was more than absence that impacted Andrew growing up.
My dad would be away at a chess tournament for 7 days. I'd fuck up. My mom would tell my dad, and my dad on the phone would say, "See you in 7 days, son." And that was 7 days without sleep. I swear to God, I must have been the most awake child on earth. I did not sleep for weeks at a time. I'd be spending a week saying to my mom, "Can you tell Dad I've been good? Can you tell Dad I've been good? Please tell him I've been good. Please, Mom, talk him out of it. Talk him out of it." 1 week of cleaning the house, doing chores, Dad came home, beatdown happened anyway.
I came across this Facebook post by Andrew's father, talking about his own father, Emery Sr., holding Andrew, saying, "My dad was the most savage man in the universe. I once contemplated killing him. Only a grandchild named after him calmed his nerves before he finally died. Look at my dad's brutal hands. I formed my Tate Chakai under that abuse. I think I did okay." His dad, Granddaddy Robert, was son of a slave. Beating with the leather belt was all he knew, so it follows. I ended the abuse in my generation. My kids were raised only with love.
Tell people this story, they get confused and say, "Oh, you're abused as a child." I was not 1% abused. I would not go back and change a single thing about the way I was raised. It's about reward. You get rewarded when you do well, you get punished when you do bad. I was not 1% abused in any regard.
Andrew today defends his father's parenting by stating it was a big contribution to what made him better than others. But perhaps it's because he later came to realize that each generation of the Emery Tates had it easier than the one before. However, the chess pimp lifestyle, as Andrew calls it, was perhaps not as well regarded with his wife Eileen, because when Andrew turned 9, his parents decided to go their separate ways. Eileen took Andrew, his brother Tristan and sister Janine to the UK as its social system was much more helpful for a single mother. Andrew obviously wanted to stay close to his father, but instead he was placed in a homeless shelter during the first 2 years, and later growing up in Luton's notorious Marsh Farm estate to be precise. And since his father was on the other side of the ocean, Andrew's chess career also came to a halt.
So I didn't see my father very much from the time I moved. My mother was always in charge of keeping me alive, and he was just in charge of giving me the lessons and stuff.
Andrew was only a kid, but encouraged by his father to start taking responsibility as the man in the house, which was a role he willingly adapted to in order to make his father proud.
I started off with a really basic, boring job. I was carrying boxes of ice in a fish market. I wasn't doing anything elaborate, but at least I was working.
Andrew also developed a knack for wittingly talking over people in order to defend himself and his brother Tristan against bullies making fun of their American accent. He also said it saved him from physical confrontation. But one day, as he got into a fight after school, he decided he wanted to learn how to fight.
I decided I wanted to be a kickboxer. I had no car. I ran to work, which was about 4 miles. I'd work 10 hours carrying boxes of ice in a fish stall. I'd run to the gym from there about 3 miles. I'd train 3 hours. I'd run home to 6 miles. And that was it. So I had to get places. I'd just run. Couldn't wear nice clothes because I get sweaty, right? So I was this guy supposed to wear a tracksuit, a t-shirt, take my t-shirt off so I didn't sweat too much, and just run everywhere around Luton. You just see me, the crazy guy, just running.
Andrew started training at Storm Gym in Luton, where he also came to meet his lifelong training coach Amir. And in 2009, Andrew gained his first championship when he won the British ISKIA Full Contact Cruiserweight Championship and was ranked number 1 in his division.
He trained hard. He has a very high IQ. He learned so quickly. He was always working, training, working, about 6 hours a day, sometimes more.
While Amir was pushing the Tate brothers to train hard, their father could be seen commenting approvingly.
I never went off track. I really was always on track. I was always focused. I never fucked up my life. I never went to jail. I never fucking drunk too much. I never took drugs. I never did none of that dumb shit. I never fell in love with a woman who I knew was toxic. I never kept a friend around me who I knew was toxic. I've always made the right choice, and that's probably because I've been playing chess since I could talk. And I've always looked at the world from that view.
With the chess player mindset and a fighting spirit, Andrew appeared on our screens for the first time in 2011 on the TV show The Ultimate Traveler. He's only 21, but already displaying an unwavering self-confidence.
I'm very mentally strong. If I want to achieve something, I will achieve it, because I've never been in a situation in my life so far in my 21 years where I really want something and didn't get it.
Being an up-and-coming fighter, Andrew was getting familiar with the politics of the fighting business. So perhaps what Andrew really wanted to get out of the show was to promote himself as a fighter and increase ticket sales for his future fights. Because on the show, Andrew made it clear he certainly was not there for the fun of it.
I'm going to vote for Chloe. The main reason I'm voting for Chloe is because I don't think anyone else will. And I think that having my vote as her only vote is going to hold a huge merit. So really, I'm just trying to manipulate her, put her on the side, make her a usable weapon at some point. But I am playing the game. I'm not interested in the money at the end. I'm not interested in the 50% extra budget. I'm interested in winning. I have to manipulate a lot of people to win. But that's what I want to do. I want to win just so I can go home and say, yeah, I won. I manipulated them all. They somehow thought I was the best traveler.
This is where the story of Andrew Tate hits its nexus. Andrew is currently on parole after being held in Romanian custody, accused of coaxing and manipulating women into sex trafficking. Could it be that we are witnessing the early making of a Machiavellian criminal? Or is it just a young fighting spirit coupled with a chess-like mindset? Let me remind you that this is not a hit piece, nor is it the Andrew Tate promotion, meaning both negative and positive sides of Andrew will be raised. And hopefully, at the end of this series, we will conclude if Andrew is either the hero or the villain people claim him to be. But for now, let's play with the idea that Andrew's rather manipulative and cold persona comes from being part of the fighting business. What is it that drives him to go down this path?
After 1 minute 15 seconds, we've got a champion, Andrew Tate. Welcome to WOE TV. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, relieved. I always feel relieved after fights more than happy, so glad that's out of the way. I can get back to civilian life.
So what's your record now?
I don't even know what it is in MMA. I've fought MMA, Thai. I'm ISK and IKF British kickboxing champion as well, so my instructor makes sure I fight any rules that he fights. He's just like, oh, tomorrow against whoever boxing.
The way Andrew talks in this interview raises the question, does he even want to fight? Because it doesn't really look like it.
Oh, I don't know if I have a goal in fighting as such.
You're good at it.
I'm all right. I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
Why I think I fight? Do I enjoy it? No. Do I enjoy training? No. Do I enjoy cutting weight? No. Am I nervous? Yes. Do I think to myself, what am I doing? Yes. Completely. Unfortunately, it's one of those things you're either born with or you're not.
Yesterday was my birthday, and me and Andrew, what did we eat on my birthday?
KFC.
Why did we eat KFC? Because when I was 21, me and Andrew used to have no food. I used to drive my broken Volkswagen Golf to the KFC restaurant in Dunstable, United Kingdom, and I used to sit in my car. And you couldn't ever eat anyone's leftover food if they ever had their mouth on it. But at KFC, they used to buy buckets. And I would sit and wait for people to sit outside, eat their meal, and leave the bucket on the table. And I used to go and take that bucket, 3 or 4 pieces of chicken. And I used to collect 20, 30, 40 pieces of chicken that were perfectly fine left in the buckets. And I used to go home and I used to freeze that chicken. And me and Andrew would break it up, put it in our rice, and that was our meal. That's what sustained us for that hard year, that year we had when I was 21 and you were 22. That's how broke we were. I used to scavenge chicken.
I was walking to school one day with my 4 friends and a Ferrari went past. And I was like, bro, how do we get one of them? I said, well, don't know. I said, what do you mean don't know? Doesn't it bother you? He has 400 grand for a car. Doesn't that anger you that he has 400 G's for a car and our parents are broke or on a council estate? They're like, I guess. Like the average man has no fire inside of him. I'm 16. I couldn't sleep for 3 days till I saw a Rari. I was like, I want a Rari. I fought because I was pissed off. I was pissed off being broke. There's dudes out here that have the best. Why do they deserve the best and I don't deserve the best? I just didn't understand why I couldn't have the best stuff. We were in a council house. I was going to a school with like 0% pass rate, like real crap school. I couldn't see any other way out of my dire situation but fighting. I was just angry. Fighting was just an outlet. If I didn't put it into fighting, I would end up in jail.
Oh, straight down, is that an Nico? He's finished, there we go, Andrew Tate.
I was fearless when I was new.
I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anyone. I don't care. I had nothing to lose.
Style. A very, very dangerous man, Andrew Tate. It's one of the best finishes in the business. Oh, that's it. Again, people say they don't like his style. He's knocking people out, man. What was the legs of that? Good shot already. There. Good shot there. Oh! Beautiful shot there. I told you. Beautiful. I told you this kid is dangerous. Baby tiger. This is baby tiger. Baby tiger. His punches are very, very quick. Really does mean business, Tate. Really, there you go. Beautiful right hand finish. I told you, didn't I? The snake strikes, the cobra lands. Good shot there from Tate. He did take the second round, and Germany is out. 16 fights, 16 knockouts. Like his style or not, he does the business.
Knock him out, and I told everyone second round. second round KO. That's what I've been saying the whole time since I've been paired with him.
Yeah, but where did you get this confidence?
Just winning. Just winning over and over and over again. Every style. I fought boxing, MMA, Kyokushin karate, kickboxing. I always win.
Andrew's young, strong, and on top of his game, but there's still one person that can humble him.
My dad used to say things like, "Oh, you're champion now. You know, there's probably only one man left who could whoop your ass." And I had so much respect for him. I was like, yeah, because, you know, you're right. I was always the son of Andrew Tate, even at the chess tournaments. It's the son of Tate, the son of, the son of, the son of. There's always the rumbles and, oh, Tate's here, fuck's sake, Tate's here, Tate's here. So the name was always feared. And I think that was part of it for me. I wanted, when I turned up to a fight event, Tate's here, Tate's here. I want my name to mean something, right? I wanted to mean something like, and that was always very important to me. And I was just told, look, you want your name to matter, then you have to go make it matter. I said to my dad, look, I can't be as good at chess as you can. I don't think I can do this. And they say, well, you could, but belief is a huge part of it. So if you don't believe you can, then what else are you going to do? Because I remember telling him I didn't want to play chess anymore. He said, that's fine, but you're not going to not play chess and fucking watch TV. You play chess for 6 hours a day, so you need to come to me with a plan for 6 hours a day. What are you going to do with your life? I said, listen, chess is one-on-one competition without luck, without a team, no wind to blow the ball on the net. What if I fight? I said, okay, I respect that. You can be a fighter.
Years after his father approved his move to pursue kickboxing, he started to climb the ranks and made a name for himself. But now he faced an aspect about the sport he didn't foresee and perhaps got him to doubt his move.
A lot of people underestimate exactly how scary this sport is. And the better you get at it, the more confidence people have. So you say things like, oh, I'm fighting someone really good. And they go, oh, don't worry, Tate, you're the best, you'll smash him. And it's like, yeah, it's easy for you to say. And thanks for the confidence, but I much appreciate when people are worried and concerned, because the better you get, the better are the people you fight.
My father was also quite a morbid man. When I was young, 19, 20, you'd be sitting at the table and he said, are you prepared for my death? And you'd just be like, well, what are you talking about? He's talking about death. He's talking about what that's going to mean. He's talking about how I have to carry the family torch. He's talking about my responsibilities and duties. He's talking about the fact that I need to evolve and be a better version of him. The expectation was there, and I had so much respect for him, and he was my superhero. I wanted to be like my dad. I have to be fantastic.
And Emery kept the fire he'd created within his son alive by reminding him about the generational greatness he carried to his name. You don't even get it. Look carefully at Andrew's wide confident stance. Already a wrestling champ in kindergarten, with dad at his back, what could go wrong? No shit, this is generational power, daddy. Well, look who's got you back. My chin is even touching your head, letting you know exactly where I am. There's not an animal on the planet that could have hurt you then and there, even if I had to die, Dad.
I'm a thinker as a person. I'm quite an intelligent individual, and unfortunately that means that I'm not ignorant enough to think I'm the best thing in the world. I know I'm fallible. I'm a human being, and I can break like everyone else, so.
He set such a high standard in certain regards that I knew I couldn't just be some normal guy. I'd feel guilt I feel dirty if I was just some normal dude. Like I can't just be, I'm his son.
I don't do this for fun. This is not a sport to me. I don't enjoy it. I hate training. I hate fighting. This is war. I was born for this. I have no choice. I'm in it to kill. That's it. Pain. That's all I know.
In 2014, Andrew had successfully made a name for himself, winning 3 championships. But there was still one fight that had haunted him for his entire life that he yet had to conquer.
How does he have $250,000 for a car and I don't? This dude's doing something we're not doing. And everyone else is just like, For me, I was like, no, there's got to be something here.
Both the Tate brothers had tried starting a series of different businesses between 2007 and 2013, but without much success.
Did work normal jobs, became entrepreneurs by just trial and error. Nothing works the first time.
We ended up working for ourselves at a very young age. I lost that money, lost that business. I was sleeping on my best friend's couch at 23.
In 2013, Andrew launched his personal website and blog, tatechiangkai.net, perhaps with encouragement from his father, who coined the term. On the site, Andrew promoted himself as a kickboxer and offered seminars as a service, one of various side hustles he used to support himself between fights. But looking at his bio page, it seems he was still haunted by the pressure to live up to his family name, as he ended with the following. 2 world titles, 1 British title and 1 English title later, here I am, training hard, winning fights, still trying to become a somebody. In the next episode, we continue Andrew's journey towards financial freedom and recognition. And remember, we are now one step closer towards making the final conclusion to this series. Will Andrew Tate come out as the hero or the villain? You know exactly what to do to make sure you don't miss it.